It all started when Sir Arthur Melfort Kerr, manager of the Alliance Bank of Shimla, mentioned the existence of some papers related to the Auckland House estate and neighbouring Chapsley residence in Shimla to Mr. Edward J. Buck. At the time, Buck was working as an agent or correspondent for the colonial government of India with the newspaper named Reuters. Fascinated by these papers, Buck penned down some detailed essays about the Auckland estate and published them in the Civil and Military Gazette. And guess who happened to read these articles? None other than the Viceroy of the Imperial India, Lord Curzon. He was so impressed with the writings that he invited Mr. Buck and his wife for lunch on one fine day. After their meal, they took a stroll together, during which Curzon requested, or perhaps instructed, Buck to write down a book on Shimla. Buck tried to get out of the situation, but by God's grace, he was unsuccessful. The result was the production of this wonderful book. Its first edition was published around 1904 and the second edition around 1925, exactly 100 years ago. This book, or rather I would say this semi-gazette, touches every possible element of Shimla, starting from the town's origin, houses, streets, hills, and even the trees, local people, and the cemeteries. After reading the chapter on the cemeteries, I imagined myself walking once again in Esslingen's Friedhof or cemetery in Germany, where I used to spend most of my Sunday afternoons. Sadly, the book barely speaks about the Indians who resided in Shimla back then. Even the chapter about the local tribes and their cultures seemed simplistic to me. However, it's worth reading this Shimla Chronicle to get a crystal clear idea of how the lives of our colonizers used to be. Away from their country, they created or at least tried to recreate what they longed for the most, their homes. By decorating their houses, playing and organizing the sports they were familiar with, and finding ways to entertain themselves through the production of plays under the banner of Amateur Dramatic Club, they did everything to make themselves feel at home in this foreign land. No matter how cruel these colonizers were to us, the human instinct to create familiarity in the unknown world never changes.